Hi, I'm Margie Holmes, psychologist, author, and educator. This week, we'll discuss LDRs, or long-distance relationships. I got several interesting questions and comments from you. Andrew Craig Bennett comments, "The Philippines is the long-distance relationship capital of this planet thanks to the totally mistaken and immensely damaging policy of encouraging people to work abroad." That is very thought-provoking, Andrew. In fact, I think it is an issue that needs an entire Ask Margie episode devoted to it. Many of you asked, what can I do to make my LDR last? And most of you gave some really good advice on how to make it work. Over 50% which had to do with sex, which I think is quite interesting. But first, let's start with a non-sexual comment from Paul Montinola, who says, "Keep it real and simple. When one has the time to communicate with the other online, let your heart and mind speak as if you were communicating face-to-face. Sean Saba, Skype sex. Paul Sanggalang, develop a spiritual bond to compensate for the lack of opportunity for physical bonding." Sorry, always thinking of physical bonds. Bad Dr. Holmes, develop a spiritual bond so that the physical bond that is lacking doesn't matter as much. Now we have a very acute observation from Bert Kibuyan, who says, "Making long-distance relationships work is very tough, and it takes a lot of self-control, sacrifice, respect, and love to make it last. As a volunteer mentor to new immigrants and temporary Filipino workers here in Vancouver, I've witnessed many cases of broken long-distance relationships due to infidelity, and this is mainly from the women who are away from their spouses. But let me clarify, it is not because the women fool around more than the male OFWs. I think it is because there are many more female OFWs in Canada or in Vancouver, and therefore the ones that Bert meets are the women, and that is why he is very fair to limit it to women." Okay, so Bert says, "I also know of some women who are able to make it work for up to 5 years until their husbands finally join them here. I guess it's all up to the person. Some have strict moral convictions and self-control, and some easily succumb to temptations. Or perhaps, for the marriages with spouses who easily succumb to temptation, there were directly and already existing problems between them before. Cheating was bound to happen." Alexandra Carmona, though, has a different view. "I think LDRs do very well because it can be close quarters every day that can end the goodness." You know, I think it's me saying this and not Alexandra. It's sort of like familiarity breeds contempt if you're so close to each other. Lovey Villacruzes says, "I've been there. My advice is to stay in love, inspire each other, keep communications open, phone sex, at huwag kayo papayag na di kayo magkikita. Gumawa kayo ng paraan para ma-close ang distance." Rohan Pasco, "I'm in a long-distance relationship but we're gonna celebrate it through Skype. Distance is nothing when you love someone." GD Constantino, "The way I see it, the only way for a long-distance relationship to last is if neither of them have much need for sex." And finally, one of the most optimistic and heartfelt responses I got was from Andrew Craig Bennett, who said, "My long-distance relationship will have lasted 3 years on Thursday. I don't want to make it last. I want it to turn into a very short relationship." Well, good luck, Andrew. Like you, I too hope your relationship turns into an SDR as opposed to the LDR it is now. Well, that's it for today. Jump into the discussion by commenting below. Send me your questions, your comments, and suggestions for future episodes here on Facebook. Tweet using the hashtag AskMargie or send an email to askmargie@rappler.com. See you next week.